Welcome to the PopcornTalk Network, for the online broadcast network that features movie discussion, news, and interviews. Press 1.
Popcorn Talk. We talk movies. From the Popcorn Talk Network, the online broadcast network for movie talk, and the schmoes know, this is Marvel Movie News, bringing you the most up-to-date discussion and commentary within the Marvel Universe.
Excelsior to you, our merry Marvel Movie Society, or Marvelites, as Matt Cook would say.
In honor of Matt Cook, I think we should change it to Marvelites.
Just say Marvelites from here on out?
Marvelites. What does the chat think?
In memoriam I don't know.
In the name, yeah.
In honor of Matt Cook, who didn't die. He went on to be on an amazing show. Yeah. So, anyway, welcome back to our 12th show of the year, 2015. It's 25 in all?
Yeah.
25?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, it
25th
is.
show is your first one, Coy, as an official host.
Seat of Cook.
You just got
still
bumped.
warm.
I know, you just got bumped up from supporting cast
Yeah.
to
So series regular, yeah.
I got this fourth mic.
Yeah, feels good.
There's a void here, and I like it.
We've got the Spider-Man ring there in honor of Matt Cook. That was on his cake. We'll bring that in every week. That's my ring.
Is that our pouring out a little liquor?
Yeah,
We're just
that's
like
our pouring out of
Spider-Man.
40. Yeah. We're the Marvel Movie News, coming to you live from the Danger Room, where we tell you all the news from all the studios and why you should be as excited as we are. Subscribe to us on iTunes at Marvel Movie News, or find us through the Popcorn Talk Network on their YouTube, popcorntalknetwork.com. Follow us on Twitter at Marvel News PTN. Find us on Facebook, Marvel Movie News. Like us, follow us, ask us questions. And if you guys tweet the link out to our show with a message telling people about the live chat, we'll retweet you. Yep. So that's kind of a good deal, guys.
I mean, it's positive reinforcement.
Yeah.
Also, well, the reason we ask you to do that is because we like coming here every week to talk about all this cool news, and we have to do it with people watching us.
Yeah.
So this is our own version of Nielsen ratings.
And we all shamelessly read the Twitter, so
Yeah, we
I'll
do.
admit it.
We're gluttons
and
for
the
punishment.
YouTube comments, yeah.
Oh yeah, we
Oh,
read.
it hurts.
Thanks,
it hurts.
Internet.
Thanks a lot. Thanks, guys.
Yeah.
Feels
so-
real good. But yeah, please make sure to rate us on iTunes, on YouTube, and keep us coming back to you. So I'm Matt Key at the Matt Key.
I'm Meredith Placko at M Placko.
And I'm Coy Jandreau at Coy Jandreau.
Yeah, we didn't have to skip back to you. It feels,
And we
feels
have
good.
some guests in the studio.
We have some
today,
guests,
too.
yeah. Your friends. Why don't you
Yeah.
introduce them real quick?
Well, so I mean, I'm gonna let Max kind of introduce himself.
Well, I'm Max Heron at Max Heron.
Yes, and Max is an amazing graphic designer who's done a lot of really fun stuff for some of the other shows that I work on, and we'll hopefully maybe we can convince you to do a little something for the Marvel show too.
Yeah. All right. Well, we have a lot of news. So much news. So we're going to start off over at Marvel, just real fast, where the Civil War synopsis was revealed this week. Kind of saying what we all already kind of knew.
Wrote down our ideas.
Yeah, it's nice to have that confirmation.
But it's nice to have
though,
an official, yeah.
Because we're kind of like, how are we going to do it without Spider-Man? But here, why don't you just read what they've said?
Well, okay, so following the events of Age of Ultron, the collective governments of the world pass an act designed to regulate all superhuman activity. This polarizes opinion amongst the Avengers, causing two factions to side with Iron Man or Captain America, which causes an epic battle between former allies.
Yeah. I'm so excited.
No, I can't wait. Yeah.
Just reading that, knowing that's an actual movie that's going to happen is just...
Yeah. I mean, but that's exactly what we were all speculating. It was like the governments of the world were like, what did you do in Age of Ultron? Like, what? Wait, what happened?
But see, we didn't need Stanford.
Age of Ultron
shows,
is Stanford.
It shows that we
Stanford.
can have a very similar storyline without having to be strictly relatable to the source
And
material.
it shows how inevitable the destruction is in Age of Ultron. It gives us scope before the movie happens. Which
Do
is
you
exciting.
think this is going to be Superman Returns level? Like him on? Are there going to be like Ultron on like piles of skulls?
I like that there's already negative consequences, unlike DC does. Because, Superman killing a guy was, hey, we move on. But, we already have...
But, I mean, with DC, it feels like they're trying to make up for that. At least that's what they're saying. There's the next movies are going to be like, oh, yeah, Man of Steel, he was still learning.
He's a real bad guy back then.
He's figuring it out, though. He's figuring
growing
his
up,
stuff
that
out.
Man of Steel. He was a boy of Steel.
He was a boy of Steel then.
Man of
He grew
Steel.
up to a man. DC show, if you're listening. We're calling
we
shots.
said it.
But yeah, it's exciting to see that level of destruction, and this movie is going to lead to consequences for the rest of Phase 3.
Which I think is super important in these cape comics and in superhero stories, to have the idea that you have these superpowered beings that kind of get away with doing whatever they want, and we know the villains have to be kept in check, but honestly the superheroes sometimes cause as much destruction. So I think I don't know, I'm really glad they're tackling this in the film thing, because as a just one of those weird movie watchers who I'm always like, that doesn't make sense. Like, I don't know, this seems like the natural progression of how the real world would respond to it. And and I love the Civil War storyline, so I'm really excited to see how this plays out.
Yeah, I mean, it's like the wild, wild west for superheroes. Like, they're just like going out guns a-blazing, except for instead of like shooting a guy in the street, they're blowing up skyscrapers.
Entire skyscrapers.
So, I mean, there is an element of like complete lawlessness to the superhero activity.
The whole a whole movie of ramifications is a great idea. And nobody's really done that yet. I think it's brilliant.
Yeah. So, and maybe we'll get to see like, what is it, damage control, like coming in and like sweeping stuff up, and like that'll be amazing.
Well, I think it'll tie into Daredevil really well, because they're talking about how street level that all is. I think that'll be a big factor, and I think Daredevil's going to associate with Avengers 1, saying how like street level people are important because we have gods flying around and all that. And it's perfect. I'm excited.
Yeah, I'm very excited. Well, along with Civil War synopsis that came out, we also hear the rumors that it's going into production on April 1st, which I believe is Wednesday, right?
Yeah.
So Civil War is already
now
getting like kicked up. So and it'll star Chris Evans, Scarlett Johansson, Anthony Mackie, and Jeremy Renner. So we can expect to see Scarlet Witch and Hawkeye in there. So
go on. No, we'll go back. I just want to address a comment. Real quick.
Address it.
So
address away.
I can't read. Can you read that for me? That name?
Nasham Feru
made a point saying, calling out DC while Thor had a whole city destroyed with zero consequences. I wouldn't say that there were zero consequences. I think that's what Civil War is the culmination of all these consequences. I agree. Yeah, I feel while Age of Ultron might be the it's going to be the straw that broke the camel's back. It's going to be that last thing. Because
it's going to be so massive.
So massive. I think, I hope anyways that's what Marvel's plan is that there has been a lot of Cap 2, Washington DC, there was a little bit of destruction there, just a bit. And the first Avengers had New York partially destroyed.
But I think you can make the argument New York was destroyed by the Chitauri.
Yes.
And the Avengers were just doing their best to get them out of here. Washington was destroyed in part by Hydra
government.
and S.H.I.E.L.D. and the government. Captain America brought it down, but thank God he did.
Yeah.
So I think it is all of that stuff adding up.
Yeah, I think
Age of Ultron, why that is a straw that breaks the camel's back is that the threat ends up being worldwide, and it's created by
the
Avengers. Like Iron Man having PTSD was a great way to have a nod to how bad New York was. Like in Iron Man 3, that was all about him not being able to take the stress of that. So I think I agree with what this guy's saying, but I think Marvel has done a little bit more to acknowledge how bad these things are.
I think maybe it's not a direct acknowledgement, but if it's kind of one of those read in between lines, fill the story in yourself, because I think we a lot of us have seen, we see where there's cause and effect to this. So I think while it might not be directly spelled out, Civil War is the first movie where they spell out those consequences.
Well, going back to the Thor thing, like Thor destroying that little town there, they had mentioned in Avengers, they're like, why are you making these weapons? And Nick Fury's like, because that guy over there with the hammer had destroyed an entire small city. So there is consequences. There are consequences, and that is just I think the seeds of going into Civil War, like even going so far as to starting with Thor and then going into Avengers itself.
No, that's a good point.
Yeah. So, but quick question: what's the opinion going to be? Like, what are the sides that Iron Man and Captain America are taking? Like, is it going to be the registration? Because we all know who they are as heroes. So is it going to be like where government regulation's coming from?
I think it's more like policing. I think it's going to be like they have certain things they're allowed to do. I don't think it's going to be a revealing of identity since everyone already knows them.
Exactly.
I think it's the next step beyond that, where it's like you're allowed to do this. You have to a time card. Like I feel like they're going to be more like government regulated heroes.
I almost wonder in Tony, like if he takes on such an emotional responsibility for what happens with Ultron, if he feels this compulsion to create this world policing order and to almost make up for oh man, I screwed up so bad and I need to hold myself accountable. Though it would be interesting to see if they flip the roles where you see Cap on the pro registration side, because just the way that it's going, it's hard for me to see Cap taking on his comic book role with this little synopsis. So I'm just throwing. I don't know. I'm just kind of throwing this out here.
Well, I imagine that's why he created like Tony in Age of Ultron, though it's not out yet. Like why he started making like drones in the first place, to kind of like police everything that they're not immediately there for when the Avengers aren't actually there for it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know what's going to happen, and that's a great thing. Like,
Yeah.
I like the synopsis doesn't give too much away, but it also is enough to be like, ooh.
Well, and the synopsis tells us what we already knew was kind of going on. Yeah. So, anyway, so moving on real quick, there was a video with Joss Whedon that came out earlier this week where he was talking to the Marvel what's the name of it?
He was talking with Lorraine Sink of Marvel's The Watcher, which is their official podcast, and Lorraine's an awesome girl, by the way. And she was sitting down with Joss, and they were kind of talking about some stuff about Avengers, and he let slip that he thinks the Vision is going to be awesome, which it is. He was very adamant in having the Vision and Paul Bentley be the Vision, which I thought was really great.
In the video, he talks about how he actually pitched that before he pitched the Avengers movie, the first
one.
He said, "Well, I don't know if I want to do an Avengers movie, but if I do a second movie, or if you guys do a second one, you should have Vision, and it should be Paul Bettany because of his cheekbones." He says it all in the video.
So perfect. He also let loose that Scarlet Witch and Quicksilver are going to hate the Avengers, so no love lost there, at least in the beginning. But we have some theories that it's not going to be like that.
It's not going to last that way.
And the coolest part that Whedon kind of, Lorraine kind of led him into, he does say that we will see more Marvel characters than what we've seen in the promotional material.
Yeah.
And that could mean, all right, Maria Hill's going to make another appearance or whatever, though we've seen her in some screens.
Yeah.
But
and some people are saying, no, it's going to be like the Falcon, or it's going to be War Machine.
But we know.
They're in the billing.
But they're in the billing. And maybe like Joss is just like, well, we haven't seen those guys yet, so we're going to see that. But I don't think that's what he's doing.
He's like a true nerd geek. He knows his people. Like, he doesn't need Black Panther.
I think I've been since they announced
so long ago.
I've been saying there, and I kind of have some knowledge that there's been some things filmed. I strongly think we're gonna see Black Panther. I'm just gonna put that out there.
Doctor Strange. If things go well.
If they do that, I will win at life.
Yeah. No.
If Doctor Strange is in Age of Ultron.
Are we gonna see Captain Marvel? I don't think so.
I think it's too soon.
Leading into our next bit of news is that there is some talk that Captain Marvel has already been cast. No names, surprisingly, have surfaced in this rumor.
It's all being kept under wraps. Yeah.
But if it's too late to shoot the pickup. It's just we can't. I think
they may have already shot it.
They could have.
We just don't know, and they've just been that good at keeping it under wraps.
Spider-Man theory, just like Captain Marvel, just like really hoping everyone's in the Avengers.
We're just like throwing it out there. Like, let's get everybody in. Let's get everybody in.
I just feel it'd be too much. Like, as much as I want to see Captain Marvel, I don't want it to become too many cooks in the kitchen. Let's give her due and give her since this is such a pivotal moment for fans in terms of a huge female lead superhero movie. I won't say the first one because we might not like to believe Elektra happened, but Elektra did happen. But I think she really deserves more than just a tiny little nod.
I feel like the best way to do it is, if they do it, that they'll have Cap assemble a new team of Avengers at the end, and that'll be all of our cameos. And it'll be great 30 seconds. And that way it's not disrespectful to the source material. It is literally like, okay, we're about to be Avengers. And then that ties into Civil War so well, because then you've got actually factions of Avengers.
Yeah.
It'd be incredible.
Yeah, we also have so many movies to get through until Captain Marvel. So I feel like we really need to promote. Build up to that.
Yeah,
so.
I don't think that it's necessary to have her in the movie.
Yeah.
And the rumor is just that she's been cast. So there's nothing confirmed about it. So it's kind of not news.
And you need to train for that kind of role. It's not like she can just be like, okay, I didn't work out, but I'll show up as like it's not. It doesn't seem feasible to me.
Maybe it's been going on under the table this whole time.
If they could pull that off, I would be like, well played. Yeah. Well played, Marvel.
Yeah, that would be amazing.
Emily Blunt for Captain Marvel.
Have you seen Vikings?
I want that so bad.
Have you seen Vikings?
No, I've heard it's good.
Vikings is an amazing show, and Catherine Winnick looks like
Edge of Tomorrow. Emily Blunt.
Dude, I'm not saying that she would be bad at it. I'm saying Catherine. Like, every time I watch Vikings, I'm like, oh dear God, yeah, that's Captain Marvel.
Okay, so we've done our fan casting. Max, what's your ultimate Captain Marvel fan casting?
For Captain Marvel,
Since you're new, I want
Since I'm
yours.
new. Ooh.
I want your opinion. And we can come back to you. You can think on it.
Come back to me.
Yeah.
But my immediate thought is like the face and this kind of strength to it, but I don't know exactly what age you'd want. Like you'd want her like a little bit seasoned, you know what I mean? So you wouldn't want
because she's in the military.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Like
so
what is I think she's like a major.
Yeah. So she,
she actually has a higher rank than Captain America.
Yeah, which is amazing.
Yeah. So with that one, just leave me as I don't know for right now because it's too good of a role to
we
just
threw it on you.
Yeah, we did. We did.
To be fair.
Yeah.
I mean, granted, it's something that I should have been thinking about because every time it's like, oh, Captain Marvel. But yeah, I agree that Emily Blunt is definitely a good.
Oh, Emily Blunt. There's no doubt she would be amazing.
I would
and she's
like
very
her.
good.
And
She's
Marvel
very good on the
likes
big
her
screen.
because they wanted her for Black Widow. Like they have already had.
Yeah.
I mean,
Could you guys see Gillian Anderson?
No.
Sorry,
X-Files?
Jarvis.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just feel, I hate to say this, but I
sorry.
just think she's just a little too old.
Yeah.
I mean, and I'm
think
not trying to
so.
be ageist here, but I'm just saying, like,
It's 5 years till her movie starts. That's a little.
Yeah, it's.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
like
mean,
the Gillian Anderson, like Lucy Lawless would both be good,
Yeah.
but not right now.
But if they were to pull in Captain Marvel's mentor, I could see Gillian Anderson as her. That would be really great, actually.
Yeah.
10 years ago, Gillian Anderson.
Yeah. Oh.
And 15 years ago, Mel Gibson for Wolverine.
Wow.
I want that so bad.
I know.
If I had a time machine, I might do that before going to see the dinosaurs.
Wow.
Mel Gibson as Wolverine is like so good.
How would you would?
He's the right height. He's the right like temperament. He's the right look. And back then he was banked. I'm just saying.
He was bent.
He was bankable. Was what I was gonna say.
He was
bent.
It's like
He was
bent.
ready.
Dude,
I want that so
He
bad.
was a hunchback 15 years ago. He
He
outgrew
had
it.
claws. They took him out.
yeah,
His skeleton
Wolverine
was literally
adamantium.
adamantium.
Yes.
Very interesting man back then.
Game changer. He got real
Mel
upset.
Gibson's
Shed it
changed.
all.
So that's on with that. The Russos are confirmed for Infinity War.
Yes, I'm so excited.
Well, why are you guys excited?
Okay. I mean,
Not that I'm
no.
not that I don't get it, but tell us why.
Okay, so I really love what they did with Cap 2. There's just something about like, okay, so obviously I'm a huge Community fan. The Russos are fans. They're giving us what we want. It's great to see a property that the people involved are as excited about making it as we are about viewing it. I really just have faith in them. And I think like Joss has done great with. And this is what Joss does well. He did this with Astonishing X-Men. He launched a really successful property and then passed it on to someone who could continue his legacy. And I really feel that Joss and the Russo brothers are going to work really well together. And I think, Joss will still be around for some consultation if they have some questions. But I'm just really excited. I love the look and feel of what they've done. I'm really excited for Cap 3. And I especially feel because with what Infinity War is going to be a direct result of Civil War, I think it's going to be a natural tie-in to let those guys kind of bump up to do the huge ensemble with a property that they're already kind of creating.
Yeah, exactly. Like Winter Soldier was like a total gritty, hard, like you could kind of believe that it happens, but at the same time, it's the goofiest movie. It's filled with so many Easter eggs of like other stuff, and like giving them a bigger property to do that, to just play in, I think is a really cool thing.
Yeah.
There were like 10 times in Winter Soldier where I like had to take a step back and realize this was actually happening.
Yeah.
Like I couldn't believe they got like that chase scene was a really original way to do a chase scene. We've all seen chase scenes in movies.
The one with Fury, you mean?
Yeah, that was brilliant. And they got like so many cameos, like you were saying, like the amount of Easter eggs they crammed into a believable movie, like that is just impressive. I think
like the Penske truck that like they said could have been the Punisher.
Zola, man. Like they got away with that in a movie.
The fact that they made Zola not look like a weird crank.
Yeah.
Like I'm just like, that's an awesome way to make him grounded
and it worked.
It
And like all the computer banks.
Screen, I was like,
I loved it.
Yeah,
this
like
is too
they had
good.
like all the like real computer banks, and
They
he
made
was
Batroc
like,
the Leaper cool.
Yeah, they did.
You say that sentence to me 5 years ago, I slapped you me in the face.
no, when they said they had cast Batroc the Leaper, I was like, oh, wait, what is this movie gonna be? Batroc?
Awesome
Seriously?
UFC fighter?
Yeah, George St. Pierre as Batroc.
Yeah, how is
you're just like, wait,
Batroc the
what?
Leaper? And they made it work.
You mean like the French Wolverine looking guy?
Yeah.
That's the reason that I love Marvel movies so much. Is like you're sitting there and you're like, I've read this, but it's moving in front of me.
And he's in purple and yellow. Like,
He's in like
it all so well.
that's what I'm saying. Like, it's grounded, but like you're like, he's wearing purple and yellow, but he's doing the thing.
It
like,
all works so well.
Like, that's why I love Marvel movies so much. It's like it's taking what you were reading when you were a kid, and it's like making it this whole big thing. Like, I never thought in a million years that I would see a scene in a movie where Thanos is talking to I'm the blue guy with the big hammer. I'm Ronan the Accuser.
Ronan,
Thank you. So I'm watching that in a movie, and I'm nearly crying. There's a kid behind me, just like, but I'm still right there. I'm like, this is Ronan the Accuser is talking to Thanos about some stuff that's going on. I read this, man. Yeah. And turn around to the kid. No, you don't understand.
Yeah, I mean,
the Russos are gonna make it.
I know, and that's. I feel like I really just feel like I know Joss does the dynamic. He does Team Dynamics 1, and that's why Buffy and Angel and Serenity they all really worked. But I the other thing with Joss is that he knows when to step away.
That's my big thing. Is I'm really glad it's not going to ever get stale. And it's like Breaking Bad. Like, they knew it needed to end, and they ended it right. I think Joss becoming like the Godfather and like handling it from behind the scenes would be great. Yeah. But I think it's really good to insert new blood and keep Marvel fresh, because it's the superhero bubble might pop if we don't let it keep getting fresh.
And I'm sure that everybody kind of had a sigh of relief when they realized, Joss Whedon's leaving, so no major characters are going to die anytime soon.
He is the George R. R. Martin of television.
He really is. He's like, you like him? Yeah, okay, keep liking him. And you're done.
Yeah.
So we've got confirmation that they're doing that. It'll be a two-parter. It's going to start, I think, filming next year, and they're going to film both parts all at once. So we know that.
Yeah, continuously.
Another rumor. This is kind of two stories rolled into one. Publisher or editor-in-chief Quesada names Peter Parker as their Spider-Man in a quote where he said, "The trick to making any incarnation of Spider-Man great, whether comics, animation, or film, is Peter Parker. Get Peter's character right, and the rest falls into place."
No, I mean, that's just Quesada's thoughts, by the way. It's not like confirmation, because he works on the publishing side, has nothing to do really with the film side. But I think after we've kind of come to the conclusion that to have a successful Spider-Man movie, we do need to have Peter Parker. Yes, I said it. You guys are right.
I think what's interesting is the fact that they've announced that it's Peter Parker like 10 times, but the Miles fans are so like strong. They're like, no, we're going to keep this rumor alive until we see a picture of Peter Parker as Spider-Man.
And then we're going to say it's Miles.
We're going to say Miles might be in it too.
Yeah.
But like, I love the fact that Miles has that strong a fan base, and I think that will get us Miles. But as I've said before, like my first show, I was like, he's a legacy character. We'll get it when we earn it. We'll get to him. Yeah. But I love that people still want it so bad.
People still want it so bad. And this isn't him, by the way, confirming anything. It's just maybe he's heard chatter around the office or whatever else, and he just kind of like let it slip. But whatever, So it seems like more and more the case is being built for like a very young.
Well, like casting rumor, I think is your part too, right?
That's the part too.
Batman shirt kid.
Yeah. So Mateo Ward and Asa Butterfield have both been rumored to have been up for the Spider-Man role. In fact, they're saying it's so top secret they didn't even go to a casting place. They went to a mansion or a house or something like that and auditioned there.
I don't know how I feel about that. Like young boys
come
going
over, little boy. You'll be Spider-Man.
I don't know, guys.
Stan Lee's mansion. He's got a sifter. Excelsior, true believer. Sit down.
Okay, if I could audition for a role and it's Stan Lee is like I'm like, okay, that I might faint. I'd be like, that's okay.
Yeah, I would not do my best work.
Is this Asa Butterfield?
That's Asa Butterfield.
I'm like, is this Harry Potter reboot? It's just the glasses and the messy hair. I'm kind of more for Mateo if those are our two choices.
Can we go back to Mateo and Steven Tarvis? Yeah. Steven Tarvis?
A little young, but
but that's what they're going for.
I know. But he looks a little bit more the part for me.
I think he does too, and I chose that picture of Asa just because he's wearing glasses, and I was like, "Oh, that's like he's a nerd, like Peter Parker."
And then he has a Batman shirt on, so
I mean, Butterfield's shown us how good he is. Like, he's a really incredible actor, and he's super like he's unnerving but also charming. Like, it's a really hard line to walk, which I think could work really well.
And for all the problems that Ender's Game had, like he was great in it.
He kept up with Harrison Ford.
Yeah. I feel like Asa would actually be a really good Harry Osborn. If you were to have Mateo as Spider and Asa as Harry, I want to throw down for that, actually.
You're going to throw down for that?
Yeah.
Like, you're going to actually...
She's going to go to Marvel and fight somebody.
If there were if I could pull a Goblin and a Spider-Man card and throw it down, I would.
Okay. Well, that's maybe later.
I think if we're not going to get a college professor Peter Parker, which is what a lot of people want, which is what I want, to have something new, I think going super young is a really interesting way to go the opposite direction and have something new creative. So 15-year-old Peter would be interesting.
Yeah, and they could treat the Spider-Man movies almost like Ultimate Spider-Man, like kind of going back to
and you could treat it like
it feels
Harry
like
Potter.
that's what they're doing.
Yeah, exactly.
And you can like make a legacy out of it. You can have 8 movies like Harry Potter, and then you can do a supercut and make it Boyhood with Spider-Man.
Yeah.
These are my dreams. This is where my brain goes when I see a fiction. Like, make that movie.
Just film it over the course of like 10 years and see.
Just do a supercut. I want to make a Harry Potter supercut of Boyhood so bad.
Oh my god!
Then do it. Why haven't you done it?
That's a lot of time, man.
I know.
So grab a thing of whiskey and
just dive in.
Yeah,
just dive in. Dude, I'm not familiar with Mateo Ward at all. Do you know anything about him? Or?
I actually don't, and that's. I mean, he doesn't have the same.
Can we IMDb him real quick?
Yeah, I don't want to take the time on the show to do it. I should have done it.
I actually don't know a lot about him.
No.
I looked him up on IMDb, and it wasn't anything I really knew, and that's really impressive. Marvel always does a good job of getting people that people aren't aware of or are kind of aware of and bringing them to the forefront. So I trust them.
Here we go. Murder in the First,
Hostages, Monstrum,
it's a lot of TV.
I mean, he's been working for a long time for someone that's
that young. Yeah,
that we don't really. Interesting.
And he really does very much look the part. So I think actually like he Asa would be a very good Harry.
That's a great idea.
That's a really good idea. Yeah. Or he could be the Shocker.
Aaron Paul for Shocker. Aaron Paul for Shocker.
That'd be amazing.
Also, we have some fun facts from Marvel and Disney that they released. 13 fun facts. I believe it was comicbookmovie.com that found them first. And among them are... this is kind of spoilery, people-ish, very...
Do the hands up when we're done again?
Ish, spoiler-ish.
Spoiler
Not too bad. Not too bad, though.
Spoiler alert! Spoiler alert!
No, we're not going...
Spoiler alert!
It's not that bad.
Spoiler alert!
Lord?
It's not that bad.
Submarine we filmed just went down, you guys.
So Scarlet Witch's powers are that she's telekinetic, and that she can fire people's neurons in their brains to manipulate their brain. So it's more or less what we already knew. Like, we saw her being telekinetic in the post scene in Captain America. And
it's an interesting way to limit her powers. It makes sense. And it's grounded in the real world. So
and it's better than saying like, oh, she's got hex bolts and probability altering hexes. Like, what does that even mean?
How do you even quantify that?
I think this would be an interesting way to tie into Doctor Strange, though. I really thought having her have magic would be a good way to introduce magic to the world of Marvel.
Hey, maybe at the end of this movie, she'll go to Wundagore Mountain and discover that her true heritage is that she is witch-like, and then she'll go find Agatha Harkness and start training.
She's just like in the corner, like,
because
what's going on?
Correct me if I'm wrong, but Scarlet Witch is kind of twofold. She's got mutant powers and magic powers.
Yes.
So
yeah,
that could be interesting.
It's a very interesting backstory to Scarlet Witch because she and Quicksilver were both born mutants, but they were born to High Evolutionary, who was creating his Newman at the time.
And then she had a baby with a robot.
I forgot about the retcon of Magneto's not their parents.
Yeah, Magneto's not her
I
her
refuse
dad.
to accept that concept.
Yeah,
No,
I kind of
parents.
do too.
Magneto gave birth. He is mother and father to both.
I don't know that
Really?
that's actually the
fairly
case. I'm
certain
pretty
that's what I
sure that's
read.
not.
I read that on the
I don't know
internet.
that he's
If
that
she
kind
can
of a
have
mutant.
twins with a robot,
Yeah.
he can have a pair of babies too.
Mitosis.
Let's dance.
But when she was born in the High Evolutionary, there was also a mystic fight going on because there was an ancient demon named Cthulhu. Cthulhu, is it Cthulhu or Chthon?
Chthon. I said Cthulhu just to be a jerk.
Cthulhu, who was imprisoned in Wundagore Mountain, and he found a way to give some of her power to
This
Wanda.
is the movie they're not going to make.
This is way more convoluted than Magneto is their dad.
Yeah, I know. But
No, if they do that movie, that'd be the ballsiest move ever. If
that would
Bruce's
be
are just like,
ballsier
we're
than-
doing it.
That would be
You can't stop
ballsier than
us.
a talking raccoon and a tree
Yes.
best friend.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, like we can do pretty much whatever we want right now.
yeah.
Yeah.
It would be like that SNL sketch where it was like, and here's a letter carrier. You'll watch it. It's Marvel.
Pam.
Pam.
Too.
We don't know who she is, but you'll watch
In
it.
10 years when we do the show again, looking back, just like, oh, we knew it.
Yeah, we knew it.
it then,
we
you guys.
called it.
Yeah, Scarlet Witch is a very complicated. She's destroyed the Avengers at least twice. She got rid
gotten
of
rid
all
of
the
mutant
mutants.
kind.
Like,
Yeah.
no more
more
mutants. By the way,
She changed everything to like House of M and then back.
Yeah.
If if fans at home listening to us, however you're doing it, read House of M.
Yes.
Read Avengers Disassembled by Bendis.
So good.
It's so
Disassembled's
good.
incredible.
And then skip to House of M. It's one of my favorites. It's
And then
so
skip
good.
to New Avengers.
And then skip to the New Avengers.
And then you'll know
yeah.
what the movies are about.
Yeah, that's more or less it. And then like
Yeah.
read
And
a couple of the
Civil War.
Ultimates.
Yeah. I mean, read all the Ultimates because you should. Until, what, like 3 years ago when they...
Yeah.
Yeah,
Until
actually,
Ultimatum,
no,
then-
but
then
you can
run.
also you can not read the X-Men Ultimate stuff,
I've never read any
early
of it
Ultimate
anyway.
X-Men's pretty strong. Like the first 2 volumes.
and then
Kubert on
it
it.
just gets twin
Yeah, and
cess.
then
You
it's
get
just
you get
weird. And,
Quicksilver.
the first 2
Twin
trades
Cess.
and run away.
Yeah,
And the
Defenders,
first
yeah.
2 volumes of Fantastic Four Ultimates are
Mm-hmm.
really good. Like, I mean, that's what the movie's going to be based on, more or less, with them going to the negative zone instead of the space.
Right. We'll get to that. We'll get yelled at some more.
So, but also another fun fact from Marvel is that Banner helped build the Hulkbuster armor, and that Banner is constantly followed by a Stark satellite who's constantly checking his vitals, so that Stark can jump on him and save the world if he needs to.
He doesn't have the beeping watch anymore when his
No,
heart rate
No.
he got rid of the beeping watch in place of a satellite.
He has a drone, his own personal drone.
Yeah. A space drone.
Yeah.
That's what satellites are. Space drones.
Space drones. That's exactly what they are. Also, though, I am excited about stretchy pants. I mean,
he's
we
got
have to
stretchy
address
pants.
this.
He's got stretchy pants under his pants at all times, so that if he ever just hulks out or needs to hulk out or whenever,
That's all right.
he's got pants.
I like that Hulk's a
I
never
do too
nude.
for like
We just go
Thanksgiving
with it.
and Christmas.
Yeah, I think
Hulk's a never nude and nobody
Actually,
acknowledges that.
Max just made a great point. This is perfect marketing for Marvel. You can sell them around the holidays.
Exactly. Too much
Yes.
turkey, Hulk
Yeah.
pants.
Hulk pants.
Boom.
Wear your Hulk pants. Another
You're
fun fact
welcome.
that was revealed that I thought was really cool is that the chase sequence in Soul, I think that's where like Ultron is kind of a little bit like actual Ultron now, and like Cap throws a shield and like it bounces off of him. That sequence, they actually employed the world record best drone pilot and the world record best RC driver to get
awesome.
camera angles that have never been captured before. Like,
I can't wait.
As if I couldn't wait
Yeah.
anymore. I was like, wait, you put a camera on a remote control car and gave it to a professional driver? Yeah.
I'm so excited because
Yeah.
I feel like Marvel's really been trying to push the boundaries of filmmaking, not just in terms of storytelling. Like we saw, we were talking about the chase scene in Cap 2 earlier, and I think Avengers, they're like, hey, listen, we know this is an action movie. We want to really give you the feel of it, like
And it
being part of
looks
it.
like an action movie. My only flaw with Avengers 1 was that it looked like a really, really nice TV show.
It did.
At times. Not
Yeah.
always, but
Not-
at times.
but yeah, at times.
But this one looks like cinema. And
Yeah, like Winter Soldier, like it's like, oh, it's fun, but the cinematography is amazing. I'm surprised that there was like no Oscar stuff
yeah,
for
dude,
Winter
that
Soldier.
DP on Winter
Yeah.
Soldier
Oh
was
my God.
phenomenal.
Phase 2 really upped their game, like,
Oh, yeah.
visually,
Yeah.
and I think
Oh,
they
yeah.
needed to, because that was the one thing they consistently got crap for in Phase 1. So the end of Phase 2 going into Phase 3?
Yeah, and I'm just saying, car scenes, if anyone wants to hire that DP from Need for Speed, do it, because those are some
Oh, yeah.
amazing like chase scenes.
We just said something positive about Need for Speed.
Oh my god, I love Need for
I did
Speed.
too. Aaron
I thought
Paul
it
for
was
Shocker,
great. Yeah. I love Aaron Paul, and I love race cars, and I love Need for Speed. So it was wonderful.
Yeah. A Speed Racer movie. Thank God.
Yep.
Yeah,
Well-
like I mean, if Aaron Paul does get just cast as the Shocker, I do want him to say, "I'm the Shocker, bitch."
Oh, I think it's implied in the cast.
Oh yeah, like
Yeah.
you do have to say bitch.
At least 3
it's in your
times.
contract for some reason. I don't.
And Magnet.
It's in his writer.
It's in his right. Brown
Gotta
M&Ms.
say it.
I get to say
Gotta
bitch.
say it. So we've also, I think we're done with Marvel.
Yeah, I think we are.
And
Can we even
we've-
talk about this? I think we're gonna get in trouble.
Okay, so can I segue into where we're gonna go?
Sure.
Take it.
I
Take
think-
it and run, New
I think we've
New
gotten-
Cook.
yeah,
Did we call you Neo Cook?
Neo Cook?
Neo Cook.
I got more tangents and rants in that. I'm in the chair. So I feel like we get a lot of flack for being very harsh on Fantastic Four. And it's not that we only like Marvel movies, but we only really are negative about this one movie. But this one movie has given us so much to be negative about that I don't think it's a bias. I think it's a validated opinion. So all of these things we're about to say negative are our opinions, and
we don't.
It's not that it's not Marvel. It's just
Yeah.
that it looks bad.
Because we're excited about Deadpool.
Looks incredible.
So
That's Fox.
I can't wait
Yeah.
for Apocalypse.
I loved X-Men First Class.
Yeah.
I think it's incredible, and I thought Days of Future Past is a great.
I love Days of
loved
Future
it,
Past.
yeah.
And,
Yeah, I think
and
that-
I can't wait for the
And
Apocalypse
hey, you know
film.
what? I will poop all over Thor 2. If anyone wants to hear me poop on Thor 2, I'll go to the bathroom.
Cap. I don't think Cap 1 is as strong as most things, and I'll say
Yeah.
it out loud. I just did. So I just think that
Get out.
Fantastic. I'm
Just
sorry.
get out.
I just
Yeah.
got a Marvel
I'm sorry.
thing
This is the Marvel news show.
but the Fox just I don't know. I don't know what they're doing with this.
Let's talk original Hulk.
Oh
yeah.
my god.
Okay,
Okay,
well,
can I
wait,
can
wait.
I
Ang Lee Hulk or Ed Norton Hulk?
Ang Lee Hulk.
Ang Lee Hulk
Can I
didn't
just
happen.
say Can I just say I've never seen it before, and it was on HBO Go.
You've never seen it before?
Never seen.
Art house Hulk film?
Yeah, I'd heard it was so bad, so I just never went to see it. And I was like, you know what? I'm doing laundry tonight. I just want something on in the background. I'm gonna watch Ang Lee's Hulk. I'm gonna sit down
That
and
is
do a Marvel
literally the
show.
only situation where you should watch.
You're wrong. I couldn't get through 40 minutes of it with it on in the background.
Remember that time they cast Hector from Troy as the nerdy Bruce Banner?
Oh, God.
Because that makes sense.
I was like, this is I can't even watch it in the background. I was getting angry. Like, I was like holding shirts. I'm like, what are you doing?
Gamma radiated poodles are a great antagonist.
Oh my God.
Great idea.
See, I forgot
Ridiculous.
I blocked that whole movie out like a
I
childhood
had literally
episode.
thought I'd forgotten it happened until you just mentioned it.
He says, you just said Hulk dogs, and I just got, don't hit me.
PTSD, man.
Yeah.
I liked Ed Norton's Hulk, and I'm glad it's still kind of canon. They refer to it
it's
as
okay.
like...
Sorta,
It's okay.
yeah.
Yeah, that's a thing that
Yeah,
happened.
you did a thing back then.
Thanks,
right,
Ed.
Mark Ruffalo?
So anyway, what do you want to say about Fantastic Four?
Okay.
So the new poster. Okay, so do we have an old poster,
What
new
is
poster?
sad violin?
So the old poster for Fantastic Four. That's the new front side one. Can you click on that? There we go.
Yeah.
So the old poster for Fantastic Four is them looking as they do. The whole marketing campaign is them looking.
Yeah.
Now the new poster
Looking away from us
for
right
Fantastic
now.
Four is this one, which is them looking with photoshopped powers just added to their hands. Like he's a little fiery, she's a little invisible.
No, she's fading into black.
Yeah, you just added a shadow.
Like this
stronger.
movie might in 3 years.
I really, really hope it's good. I really honestly do, but there's not a single thing about it that looks good.
Okay, now that being said, go back to the new front poster, the one before this. I know you guys differ. I really like the look of the thing. Seeing this, I'm like, oh my God, he looks like a big rock. He looks like a golem. And that's how I view the thing, as a golem.
I just see
type
Never Ending
creature.
Story.
Yeah, and I really actually love the look.
to be such big, strong heads.
That being said,
He's a rock eater.
he is a rock eater, and I love it. He looks so good. I think he looks good. What you guys don't like him?
I think he looks better than he ever has, but I think it's 2015, so he should look better than he ever has. But you mentioned the photoshopping, and
okay, I'm sorry, but now that being said, now look at like Sue and
Miles Teller, Mr.
yes,
Fantastic
thank
Reed.
you. It's just their heads photoshopped on double bodies. We're talking about companies that have hundreds of thousands of dollars to put into their marketing campaign, and I'm also looking at you, Age of Ultron poster, that you can't be bothered to like copy the lighting.
I wonder if
on
that's the
everyone.
bar. If Fox's bar is Marvel, so they don't care about posters.
This is literally like my boyfriend who does photography and composition photography. In his spare time, who don't know anything about photography and photo editing, can probably still do as much as this. If I'm paying someone $100,000 to make this poster, like I would be Fox and be like, give me my refund. This is
And at least make her head proportional.
Yeah, that's my complaint. Is I'm not pooping on the movie. I'm really having an issue with the company that rush jobbed this poster and it looks really poor.
As long as the movie's better than the posters, we're all gonna be happy.
Yeah.
So maybe that's the trick.
Yeah, but Meredith, fingerless gloves, though.
Fingerless gloves and vents. But yeah, so I'm just
It's
sorry.
for
I really
hacking.
feel like this and I also had the same issue with the Age of Ultron poster. I really just these are like, you can kind of have some things slide in films that maybe aren't perfect because it's going at such a high frame rate. But when you have your poster, that's what everyone's going to stare at
And base their 6 months of anticipation on.
Make it look good. It's not that hard.
And can I just say, one of the literal darkest posters we've ever seen, except for the fact that they have like the Funhouse put your head through the hole thing that they got going on with the actors. Like
It's
everything is like gray.
Yeah.
And then
like
the
Halo 3 poster.
Then it's like, look at our faces. That's the.
Yeah, I get it's hard. These actors are busy. You can't get them all in the studio at the same time. But write down your lighting measurements. Write down your distance from your flashes and your strobes. Have that formula ready so when you can grab them, just recreate it. And just put a little bit of effort. Go look at GregDeStefano.com and see how awesome my boyfriend does work. Just saying.
I look at Thing and he looks like a grandma to me. I don't know what.
Really? I think he looks so cool.
No, I'm not saying that he doesn't look cool. I'm saying that I look at him and I see like the creators were like, all right, let's take those rock creatures from Thor, whose names that I'm at key can't remember right now. It was the first bad guys that Thor ever fought. And
they should have gotten the rock things from Noah because that had great rock monsters in it. Russell Crowe versus the oh, dude, that's your next laundry movie.
Okay.
Oh yeah. That's canon in the Bible.
But
rock monsters.
He looks like that monster. I think it's like a Korg or something, or Korn or something.
I don't
like
remember
that, either. Combined with like a grandpa, because he's got like the lips like it looks like he needs chapstick to me.
It's the grandma from Dinosaurs. Do y'all remember Dinosaurs?
Oh my god!
You're
right. You're right.
That's what it is.
My only thing with him that bothers me is you can't see his blue eyes.
Yeah, because he has a blue-eyed thing.
Yeah.
You know? And I know I'm going to be excited. The moment he says clobbering time, I'm going to be stoked. There's so many things I'm excited about.
Yeah.
I just need to start seeing them.
Yeah. I feel like, to me, I am someone who, like, I love the Fantastic Four. I'm, like, in the minority that I love Reed Richards. Like, everyone's like, you like Reed? See?
I think he's great. I think he's a key part of the Avengers and the Illuminati.
He's amazing. Like, I love this guy. And the fact that the Ultimate franchise took him in such a dark direction, and there's like the Council of Reeds.
He's the like main villain in the Ultimate Universe, like that giant head thing. What?
Yeah, what? He's so amazing, and I want to see that in this film. And I feel like Fox is actively showing us none of that. It feels like Fox is like, hey,
they're
fans,
too young to be
don't
like
watch
that.
Well, they cast actors that are worthy of that, and they will age into that. They did a really great job casting, and I think this cast is incredibly strong. I just don't know why everything else doesn't feel right about it.
Yeah.
Everything.
And I'm excited for it. I want to see it, but...
And I guess
I'm also afraid I'm going to be very disappointed.
And also one of my biggest hesitations when it comes to Fantastic Four is, I'll be honest, I'm not a big fan of the property. I've never really cared for.
Just get out.
I know.
Just get out.
Well, I like
Marvel's
Sue.
first family.
I know.
Unbelievable.
I like Sue in concept, but there's just some things about Reed Richards that he's never sat well with me. I think it's maybe just kind of like the way I was raised and the way I grew up. I don't really identify with him, and I just feel like I don't know. I don't like it. And whenever I watch Venture Brothers, their Fantastic Four like spoof. It's just kind of how I actually envision the Fantastic Four.
Oh my god, it's so good.
So I will say, if any of my hesitation from this movie, it comes from actually not being a fan of the source material. So I'm just going to put that out there. But you know what? Guess what, guys? If I don't like something, that doesn't mean you don't have to like it either. That's why opinions are awesome.
I hope it does. I hope it does so well that we get the X-Men Fantastic Four crossover movie. I am publicly rooting for this movie to do well. Prove me wrong, Fox.
Yeah, I want to be proven wrong. I want to be proven wrong.
And on a positive note to our only negative segment, the Fantastic Four segment. We're always just like, there's news.
I want this movie to do good only because that they still own the property for the Silver Surfer. Because Silver Surfer I like way more than the Fantastic Four, but Silver Surfer is still, if I'm
he's still
part of the So I would much rather do that. So that's popular enough to do a standalone Silver Surfer movie.
I'd love that.
Still starring Doug Jones.
Natural.
Of course.
Not voiced by Larry Fishburne.
No.
For some reason.
So we've got more.
we got more news.
We've got more news now for X-Men Apocalypse. Jubilee has joined the cast of X-Men Apocalypse in the form of actress Lana Condor, who has absolutely no credits.
No credits.
Like, this is her first thing. Like by all
slumming it. X-Men debut.
Like, boom, here we are. Like, welcome to acting, you're Jubilee.
I am so excited that we know for sure we have our Jubilee. She looks adorable. I got, like, guys, when I was young and reading X-Men 244, Jubilee's first appearance, and watching the animated series, me and my friends would run around and we'd pretend to be X-Men, and I was always Jubilee. I love Jubilee. I don't care if some people think her powers are lame, that she sets off sparks. She's just, as a young girl who kind of felt out of place and didn't really fit in and didn't really have, like, you know, the adults around her kind of ignored her. I identified with Jubilee so much. She's one of my favorite X-Men of all time, and I'm so excited to have her in Apocalypse. So
I can't wait for Wolverine Jubilee.
Yeah, that
dynamic is going to be so
I want that. That's what I want the next Wolverine movie to be. That.
You know, they're bringing that back in the comics, right? They're going to have the Secret Wars 92 X-Men.
I know.
I'm so excited.
I'm so excited for 92 X-Men. Yeah, it's going to be fun.
Are we at all worried about Bryan Singer's handling of her, though?
How do you mean? Take that and run, Coy.
Okay, so Bryan Singer does a really good job of making movies. I really like his movies. I don't feel like he knows who the X-Men are. Like, I feel like he...
Really?
Like, Havoc and Cyclops not being really brothers. Like, they're like...
Yeah.
That's,
So
there's
you're
a lot of
saying,
stuff
like,
that,
in terms of, like,
granted, that
canon
was
and everything,
Matt
yeah.
Vaughn was involved with that decision,
Sure.
but I just feel like Colossus was underutilized, and it basically becomes the Wolverine show featuring these other X-Men.
Yeah, but I don't know that that's Singer so much as it's Fox.
Yeah.
I just worry that we're all so excited, but she might get like 1 or 2 scenes like she always has.
Oh, no, that's all she's going to get.
But that, I mean, that's she's the 80s X-Men. We're setting this in the 80s. Like, I feel like it's such an underutilized option.
Her and Mohawk Storm, man, that's, you know.
Oh, man, I'd love that.
As long as she's wearing like the yellow raincoat, I'm good. And the like Bret Hart shades, I'm good with that.
I'm going to take the unpopular opinion here and say that I do not care for Jubilee at all.
There's your Reed Richards. There's your moment.
I know.
Yeah.
Well, no, I know. That's Reed Richards would just steal that away.
I remember watching her in the X-Men cartoon and having the exact opposite reaction, being like, what did she do? What? Yeah. She shoots fireworks? Somebody get her out of
that
here.
Wolverine like takes his like the wing and is just like, you only shoot fireworks, I'll protect you.
Yeah,
so I'm with both of you. I'm like, her powers don't make sense, but she's cool because of that.
I think that's why I liked her, because she was around so many OP mutants, and she was still like, I think it's just because of who I was growing up, I identified with her so much. And I think, you know, while you had these great, strong, independent women like Rogue and Storm and Jean, you know, you had younger girls like Kitty and Jubilee who were trying to find their place. And I think, you know, 8 to 13-year-old Meredith really identified with Jubilee. Then it became all Emma Frost all the time.
Yeah.
And I'll go on my Emma rant as to why I love her and why she's the best.
Yeah, I've never gotten the appeal of Jubilee, and it's just never been a thing for me.
She's not a vampire in the movies. That's all I care about.
That's all. Yeah, that was the worst.
I stopped reading X-Men when that happened. I was like, wait, you're doing vampires, and now Jubilee's a
She's
vampire?
a vampire, and she has a little baby in the comics right now.
Named
like,
Shogo or Shugo or something.
And like in the comics, they had the dad of Shogo come in and be like, I want my baby back. And I'm like, what is going on?
Yeah, it's a mess. Yeah. But along those same lines, still with the X-Men Apocalypse movie, Sophie Turner has come out and said she's going to put her own turn on Jean Grey, her own spin, and she's going to make her a little more naive.
Which is what All New X-Men's doing really well right now.
Yeah. All New X-Men killing it with her character.
Yes.
And like the fact that she's discovered like a completely new power set that combines telekinesis and telepathy.
And she just met Ultimate Jean Grey, and they both like broed out how different in the same day.
Also in the
read All New X-Men fans. Read All New X-Men.
And they have
everything Bendis has written is
They have a one shot that for like it was kind of outside of the whole Black Vortex stuff that's going on, and it actually had Emma Frost and young Jean training together. And I'm not going to spoil it for anyone, but it was like the ultimate girl bonding power moment, and I loved it. And it was. I think that was
it wasn't an annual or anything. It was the latest issue. It's the latest issue.
Yeah, and it was so good. I loved it.
It was amazing.
My! Was that Phil Noto?
I don't know.
No, I don't think it was.
The art was gorgeous. So she's going to be a little more naive, and I think that's a fun direction to take.
She's young.
And I think Sophie Turner will play that really well. She played that so well in Game of Thrones.
And then she got
initially.
Ruthless.
Yeah, then she joined.
Dark
then
Phoenix.
she joined up with Littlefinger. Yeah, Dark Phoenix. She's shown that she can do that arc. So. Also, we've got Gambit, rumored to be an X-Men Apocalypse. He was just going to have a solo movie, but now Channing Tatum might be an Apocalypse. So.
Also, the Gambit Jubilee dynamic is fun too.
I think it makes sense. Like all around, I think that Fox, not Marvel, is doing a really good job to set up this universe.
The Fox does very well with the X-Men.
Yeah,
they
Bryan Singer's
do.
really good at making those movies very marketable, very open to the average person.
Yeah.
Like he does a really good job setting up a universe that people can approach.
And I'm also glad they're not done in the same way Marvel handles their movies.
Right.
Like I really think that Fox has set a tone with their X-Men movies that are very different from Marvel, but that doesn't make it better or worse. It's just,
I would love for there to do so well. We have like alternate universe options where Matt Vaughn can take over again, and like Singer can keep making his movies, because those were so tonally different, but both worked so well. It could be incredible.
Yeah.
So jumping away from Fox, we already kind of covered Sony, so now we're going to jump over to Netflix real quick, where they've released a couple new pictures this week, and it seems like we can probably expect a new picture every day, every other day, or something like that.
Leading up to the debut.
Just stills that are coming out, but we've got new pictures. We've got we've got Kingpin and Madame Rao. How do you say it? R-A-O?
I've always just read it.
Yeah, Madame Rao. I say Madame Rao.
And then we've got all the allies, and it looks like they're in Nelson and Murdoch law office. So
yeah, I'm excited.
There's nothing really there, but it's just kind of exciting and
cool
fun.
to see. Yeah.
So,
April 10th is so soon.
April 10th.
And just because
April 10th.
these look like stills from the actual show, and I'm really just loving the color toning and the look and feel of all this. I'm really digging it.
So let me put you guys on the spot real quick. Madame Moreau, is she a new character for the series? Because I'm not familiar with her at all. Like I've
only discovered her on reading the press release for this stuff.
Yeah,
I have no idea.
I think she's just for the show.
Yeah,
I can't find her in comics anywhere.
I think they're going to position her as kind of another crime lord, and I'm really excited.
Yeah.
Because
do you think she's connected to the Hand at all?
Yeah, I would hope so.
Yeah, like that's.
I mean, I'm
my
not trying to make
too,
racial generalizations here, but I mean,
it makes sense.
Yeah, I'd be really excited.
I just realized how bad I want Hammerhead now. You said crime lord, and I was like, oh,
Hammerhead.
That'd be so cool and
awesome.
silly, but cool.
Tombstone.
Yeah.
So. Also just want to remind you guys to tweet out the link and tag at Popcorn Talk and we'll retweet you.
We're trying to get to 350 live watchers. If we could do that, that'd be super rad.
Yeah, we want to do that consistently. So you guys help us build our audience up in that way. So we're gonna jump over to Wizard World question of the week real quick.
Yes. Oh God, we're running out of time already. Why can't our show be forever long?
I know. Why can't it be 2 hours? Right. Yes. So Wizard World question of the week, with so much news that came out this week, but none of it being like big, earth-shattering casting news.
So you know something's coming.
So we know it's Pompeii. We're it's
calm before the storm. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. What
big news is going to come out 20 minutes after our show today? That's our Wizard World question of the week. 20 minutes after our show, what's going to come out? Marvel, Fox, Sony, Spider-Man's casting. What? That's our Wizard World question of the week. So we'll post it later, and you guys can have fun with that.
010101. What? What's that mean?
0101.
So good.
And just a quick question from Michael Rozak, who asked us a question over Facebook. In the deleted scenes to the Avengers, Loki and Barton strategize. Selvig says to Loki he has no soul, referring to Barton. Could that be a hint that the scepter has a soul gem?
Oh.
Wait, Loki's scepter?
Yeah, that's what he's asking.
I thought we knew Loki's scepter had a soul gem.
No, I thought it was the mind gem. Is it the soul gem? And if that's the case, does that mean when they get Loki's scepter?
Yeah, no, it's the mind gem. I think it's been confirmed it's the mind gem.
No, I don't think they've confirmed anything.
I don't think they've ever had an actual commentary on what the gems are.
I get really confused because people tell me things.
It's okay. It's okay.
I'm not really good at this.
So, Michael, we don't know. We don't know.
I don't know.
But I think it would be cool if we discovered that it is the soul gem and then that's what they use for the Vision. Though I don't want them to do that.
I don't think so.
And I don't think they will. That would be interesting to see.
We know so little about each of the gems that I think they can go any direction they want right now, and we'd all be excited.
Yeah.
Because they change the colors on them differently.
Yeah, it's all really... And they don't really need to have that quantified till Infinity War.
Yeah, and the red gem is not a gem, it's a ooze. What is it?
Dude, that's so deep 70s cosmic that I have no idea.
I'm watching Thor, and it's just the ooze stuff. It's swimming around, and I'm just like, is that a gem? How is that a gem? So they have it in a...
It emits ooze.
I don't know why. I don't know.
This is why she doesn't like Thor 2.
Yeah.
I personally, I'm going to be the guy that liked Thor 2 because the Loki dynamic was enough for the whole movie to be awesome.
You know what? I'll you guys want to know the real reason I didn't like Thor 2?
Ooh.
No, tell us, Meredith. Break it down.
Natalie Portman as Jane. I don't think she's a strong Jane. I don't think...
Someone was kill Jane Foster on screen right before it came out.
I see, and I love Jane Foster as a character. While I will forever ship Thor and... why am I blanking on her name? The Asgardian warrior woman. Sif. Thank you. Lady Sif. I will forever, that is my OTP. Jane played such an integral role in Thor/Donald Blake's, coming of age in many ways. She's a fantastic character, especially if you're reading the new Thor right now. I really suggest you guys read it. I love Jane, and I just don't feel Natalie Portman brought that character to life. And I feel that made the movie drag.
I feel like it's a shame because she's such a strong actress.
Yeah.
But I think when we lost Donald Blake, we kind of lost
the need for Jane Foster. Yeah, I really wish they had put Sif in a stronger role. That's just me. That's just my.
It's actually funny you mentioned that because before we actually got here, Thor 2 was on. Okay. And my girlfriend said, Natalie Portman's in this? I was like, yeah, you're right.
I like
you're
Natalie
not wrong.
Portman, man.
No,
I love Natalie Portman.
She's great. I'm sure she's a fantastic person, but mother of God.
She's so good in Hatchet.
My favorite role of her, as Jane Foster, was in Avengers. where it's like a picture of her on the screen. It's like, where's she? She's gone. Okay, moving on.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's our show.
We said negative stuff about Marvel and positive stuff about Fox, you guys.
Yeah.
We're growing up.
Let's
Matt,
close the... Yeah.
Did you guys read this article somebody wrote that was crazy fan theory over the past week about Robert Downey Jr. and Iron Man being able to control the Tesseract?
Wait, no, what?
No, we'll read that and discuss next week, though.
I didn't see that, no.
I'll put a link to it in the description, though.
Yeah.
You guys check that out. It's really interesting.
Cool. Yeah, thank you.
Did you guys see Vin Diesel being like, please cast me as Black Bolt?
Yes.
He's been doing that every week, hasn't he?
It's been adorable.
So adorable.
But he would be great.
I think it'd be really
Yeah.
good.
Because he would have 2 roles in the Marvel Universe and still only say 3 words.
I know.
And we all know what Vin Diesel sounds like, so it'd be like, when's he going to say something?
Exactly.
And all he would have to do was whisper, hello.
I'd be interested. I'm really... Inhumans is the one movie I have no idea what it's going to be like, and if Adam McKay does it like he's rumored to do, it
Yeah,
could be...
like the rumor's saying, yeah.
Yeah.
For all of you who don't know at home, Black Bolt's one of my favorite characters, and his power is that he can whisper and blow up a mountain with his voice. So he's incredibly powerful.
He's the guy that likes like Reed Richards and Whisper Gods.
Yes.
He's just like, I like that weird stuff.
Doctor Strange. Oh my God, the
I'm
weirder
all like
the better.
Spider-Man. I'm like the most like
MODOK.
skim milk fan of the main characters. You're like obscurity.
Obscurity. The obscure ones are the fun ones for me.
true.
Like,
Oh, wait,
so
we have
much
an
fun.
off-camera comment.
Oh, yes.
How much of the Inhuman stuff in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. is going to come into the movie?
Brian, who's off camera, asked how much of the Inhuman stuff from Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. is going to play into it. I think that's how they're building.
Canon.
Yeah, it's all going to be canon.
But I think it'll be like kind of touched upon because like not everyone's watching Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. And I don't think that the movies want to be completely dependent on the television.
But I think
there'll be Easter eggs.
I think they're going to be exploring a lot of mythology that they won't necessarily have time or they need to tackle to create a successful film. But they're going to give you a lot of backstory and understanding. So I don't think we're going to see the major players of the Inhumans on the TV show. But I think we're going to get a very wealthy universe before the Inhumans movie comes out.
Yeah. I agree. I agree. And sorry we didn't have time to talk about Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. today. We just kind of ran out of time. But we do want to do one quick little battle.
Okay.
You guys want to do it?
Yeah.
Well, you guys, you choose
first.
You choose first. It's your first show.
Okay.
Oh,
Like as official.
I'm just like, no.
As official host.
Okay, I'm gonna
Get
get this one.
okay. No fair.
I'm confident.
No fair.
Yeah.
Oh.
Oh wow. Wow.
Feral.
Versus 2 feral mutants.
Wolverine and Sabretooth
might
versus
have
Feral.
one.
Let's
I think
see.
that's like one panel in a comic book
Yeah,
and it's
that's just-
over.
No, okay,
off
you know what?
screen.
Actually, Feral's going to win because Wolverine and Sabretooth are going to be too busy destroying each other that Feral will come in and swoop in.
You're
And-
playing like the 90s animated version of like what would happen. Just like, oh,
Yeah.
we're fighting Bub.
Exactly. That's how.
Wolverine's looking at a picture
Yeah.
of Jean Grey really sad, and she just like comes in like, done. I'm gonna give this to my guys.
Yeah. I'm going to give it to you.
I'm not sure I can really validate why, because it just seems like logic.
Yeah.
But I like her version of reality of that just happening though, just like.
Well, no.
Oh,
We've got
all
the
right.
bell. I guess we're getting the bell.
Never had that
Coy
before.
wins.
Yeah.
So that's our show, everybody. Thanks for joining us. Special thanks to our prize sponsor, Wizard World Conventions. They've got shows in Vegas coming up April 24th, 25th, and 26th, then on to Minneapolis in May 1st through the 3rd. And then Philadelphia is one of their bigger shows, May 7th through the 10th, and they're going to have David Tennant, Billy Piper,
Oh my
Haley Atwell will be there.
Purple Man.
Purple Man, right? So so you guys make sure to check them out. Go hit up their conventions. They're a lot of fun. Please also don't forget to subscribe to our show on iTunes and Marvel Movie News. Rate us, leave us a comment, keep us coming back to you. Find us through YouTube on the Popcorn Talk Network. Comment, thumbs us up, keeps us coming back to you guys. Follow us on Facebook, like us, Marvel Movie News. You can find us on Twitter at Marvel News PTN. I'm at the Matt Key. Matt Key.
I'm Meredith Placko at M Placko.
I'm Coy Jandreau at Coy Jandreau.
And me, and I'm Max Heron at Max Heron.
And real quick before we go, hey guys, I just want to thank you for everything that I've been doing. But I have a little announcement to make.
Of course.
I'm not leaving Marvel. We won't do that to you guys 2 weeks in a row. I have no intention of leaving. But I have a new show that's starting up on Popcorn Talk Network on April 8th. It is called Cosplay Coach. We're going to be sitting down and talking about some of the coolest costumes in film and television and other media. And then we're going to teach you how to make them at home. So please tune in on April 8th for Cosplay Coach. And I'm really looking forward to sharing more of my passion with you guys.
Yeah. Yeah, sounds good. So make sure you tune into that and tune into us next week for more Marvel news and to find out what happens 20 minutes after we go off. See you later, guys.
From producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire Popcorn Talk Network, we would like to thank you for tuning in. For questions or comments, be sure to visit popcorntalk.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of the Popcorn Talk Network.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of the Popcorn Talk Network or its owners or principals.